Hey guys, it's Andy with WebGardener.com, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Gigabyte GA-Z170X Gaming 6 motherboard, which I had previously done an unboxing video for. I've had the motherboard for about 8 or 9 months, maybe a little bit more, and it's had its ups and downs, so let's get into that and check it out. Before we get into the review, I want to go over all of the hardware and components that I chose and what I'm actually running, as well as my setup, just to give you a better understanding of how it's being utilized and what kind of stresses I'm putting this motherboard under. With the Gaming 6 motherboard, I'm currently running a 6600K i5 SkyLake processor running at stock speeds, paired with 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance DDR4 3000 RAM. I've got a crucial M.2 solid state hard drive at 250 gigabytes of storage. And lastly, I've got my dual SLI GTX 980 graphics cards, pushing currently 3 monitors or a combination of VR headsets. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with the bad when talking about this motherboard because I think that's going to be actually the much shorter list. The only major issue, which I can't even really call it that, has been the error LCD codes that I keep getting on the motherboard itself. When I boot up, I'm constantly getting 04 error code, which is, according to the manual, I'm out of resources or out of memory of some sort. However, when I actually boot into an operating system, I'm not having any issues. Windows, Linux, or what have you reports that everything is functioning normally. Now, if I reboot the computer, that error code goes away. So it definitely has something to do with how the motherboard is posting in the BIOS and whether or not it's the order of operations that's causing an issue or whatever the case may be. But aside from just having that little nagging feeling in the back of my head that there might be something wrong, I've not actually come across any issues. So I think we're okay in that respect. So let's talk about the good. I have been running this motherboard day and night, averaging close to 20 hours a day of heavy use. Originally, I configured the RAM to use the XMP profile and left the CPU at stock speeds, which of course is 3.5 gigahertz with a max boost of 4 gigahertz, since the small improvements in performance do not really affect my work like compiling software and so forth. Although I am running an H100i all-in-one liquid cooler, my goal is longevity with the system, not top performance. That also attributed to my choice in an i5 processor instead of an i7. Not because I wouldn't enjoy the extra performance, but most of what I'm doing would not take advantage of the extra cores. And when compared for performance versus cost, the i5 is just a better value. Now I got an extremely good deal on the 2 video cards, making them cheaper, and I mean much cheaper than purchasing a single 980 Ti. So that kind of sealed the deal for those. Although the Gaming 6 supports dual M.2 hard drives, keep in mind that it does use one of the SATA or PCIe lanes when filled. So there is a minor loss there since that makes it either an either-or situation. In addition to the M.2 hard drive, I'm also running several other Platter drives totaling around 5 terabytes for backup storage. Now, everything from software development in the Unreal Engine and Unity development to 3D modeling and animation in Blender to lots of gaming have been performed exceptionally well by this system. The SLI GTX 980s are pushed, running 3 monitors at a resolution of 5760 by 1080. In addition, I use both the Oculus Rift or HTC Vive and have no issues whatsoever with keeping frames up above 90 for every game I throw at it, including things like, Elite Dangerous, Project Cars, Metro 2033, Last Light, Redux, and so on. As you can see, the USB capabilities have been top-notch since the Oculus Rift relies heavily on power from the USB. And I'm also running the Saitek X55 hands-on throttle and stick and the Thrustmaster T150 force feedback steering wheel alongside the Oculus. The HTC Vive, of course, uses a separate power supply and has its own controllers, so I configured it for whole room use instead of using it at the desk. Now, the audio quality is honestly about average for today's performance standards. It can easily support surround sound with environmental audio, but it is by no means a studio quality recording and mixing sound card, although I could always upgrade the chip itself if I wanted to, improving the performance and capabilities. How much? I don't know. For the price range I was aiming for and the features that I wanted, I have been extremely pleased with the Gigabyte Gaming 6 motherboard. It has been a beast just running everything I've thrown at it. Now, even though it was initially released prior to the Kaby Lake series processors, if the BIOS is updated to the most recent version, it does now support those CPUs. So that's certainly a plus. And if I wanted, I could certainly add more RAM. I could add more hard drives. I could even add another video card if I really wanted to. But for now, I think I'm good. So I really hope this information was helpful to you, or at least gave you a little bit more insight into what this motherboard is capable of. If you liked it, go ahead and hit like for me. I'd certainly appreciate it. And if you have questions or comments, leave them in the section below, and I will be quick to respond to you as soon as I can. And until next time, thanks for watching.